This is E.T. Most of the information for this video comes from this book, Sam Langford, Boxing's Greatest Uncrowned Champion. It's by Clay Moyle. I recommend you get that book. These men here are Jack Johnson and Sam Langford. Johnson, world heavyweight champion from 1908. That's when he took the title from Tommy Burns. He was champion to 1915 when he lost the title to Jess Willard. Langford, uncrowned heavyweight champion, considered by many boxing aficionados to be the greatest pound-for-pound boxer who ever lived. Some of you know that these men fought on April 26, 1906, with Johnson taking the decision, but very few recall that they fought again 2 days later. Now here's the story. On April 18 of 1906, a little more than a week before Johnson and Langford fought in Boston, San Francisco was devastated by an earthquake. Civic-minded citizens around the U.S. began raising money for the survivors. So a benefit was arranged at the Boston Hub Theater for Saturday, April 28, 1906. That's just 2 days after Johnson and Langford fought. The feature would be vaudeville acts, wrestling matches, 21 boxing exhibitions. Langford, knowing that Johnson would never again want to face him again in the ring officially, agreed to participate in the fundraising event. And he asked promoters if they could get Johnson to again engage with him, this time as agreed, an exhibition. The Hub Theater, then located, I think, in Boston's South End, had a stage, but it didn't have a ring. Now, given that all events were exhibitions and it was all set up for a charitable cause, so it's expected that everybody participating would voluntarily remain within an artificial ring, and most of them did. Langford was confident that he had figured out Johnson's style when they fought 2 days before. But by that time, he was pretty much out of gas, and he was upset at Johnson, who had said that he, Johnson, did not go all out in his fight with Sam. And then, right before the exhibition, Johnson gave a speech after he'd been presented with a watch given to him by an admirer. Well, Sam knew the whole thing was a setup by Johnson. The watch was Johnson's. Jack Johnson simply wanted to appear magnanimous and popular before the crowd. All of this angered Langford. So at this point, he decided to make the exhibition a genuine fight. Now, here's what we know regarding the event. Now, we have two sources. One, Langford himself, and the other, the Boston newspapers. As you'll see, both offered conclusions that were, 180 degrees apart. But on one point, everybody agreed. It was one hell of an exhibition, and the standing room only crowd got a real show. Here is Langford's account of the match. The bell rings. He, Sam, rushes Johnson, and then he clinches him. Then he breaks away, and he just slugs away. Now, Johnson, at this point, realizes, again, according to Sam, this is no exhibition. Both men go at it across the stage, back and forth, into the curtains, then to the front of the stage, each man looking for a knockout. By the end of the first round, buckets had been knocked over, chairs upturned, everything knocked around. Then, halfway into the second round, Sam drove Johnson into the stage scenery. Now, that all fell, curtains and everything, onto both men. Then they pushed it all away, punching at each other. During round 3, they fought around the bunched up scenery. They're trying to wrestle each other to the ground. It finally ended when somebody, we don't know who, called time. Well, that is Sam Langford's account of the event. The local papers, well, they gave a different reading. They said Johnson avoided damaging Sam's eye, which had been swollen during their fight. The Boston American newspaper reported that both men, and I'm quoting the newspaper, just to show that there was not any hard feelings, squared off and showed the fans some clever boxing. Moyle, in his book, does not add a conjecture about which account, Sam's or the newspaper's, was more accurate. But E.T. will. E.T. believes the Boston newspapers, reporting on what was a charitable event and not wanting to embarrass either man, had good reason for not playing up what may very well have been an out-of-control street-style fight on a stage. Well, what do you think? Put in your comments below, subscribe to this channel. You see the bell icon, you tap that, you'll be notified of future uploads. And that thumbs up icon, tap that. Thank you.